didn't walk because it was 29 degrees and a little bit too cold for me. Anyway, this is Ruthie Rocks and Jimmy Daig, and we are here to talk about real estate. I just wanted to know if everybody saw the notice on the MLS, and that is beware of virtual kidnapping. And realtors in other parts of the country have been the victims of violent life virtual kidnapping scams. And they have lost thousands of dollars because they paid the ransom. And there's banks, apps, cash, Zelle were all used to collect the ransoms. And the FBI has been notified of this scam. And the scam includes spoofing the phone numbers of a family member and threats to cause harm to a loved one, requesting a ransom for return of a family member, and asking for a wire transfer to be sent immediately. So this has been described in the most realistic scam, and the FBI states that these criminals are getting the contact information from publicly available sources. Realtors with their phone numbers in a public domain are an easy target, and all realtors are potential targets. And the LVR is saying, please be aware of this situation and use caution. So they have our phone numbers. And if you've taken our risk reduction class presented by Jack Lindberg, and we're having another one on January 29th, I believe that's a Friday, he gets into how easy and how quickly a person can find you and your personal information. And he shows in class how he does it under 3 minutes. So anyway, I just want to continue to bring this to everybody's attention. In case you haven't seen it, it's a notice on LVR when you log into the MLS. Jimmy, have you seen this one?
I have seen it. And, you know, the directors have minutes that are available to the members. If you go on Las Vegas Realtor website, and you can read the minutes from the directors meetings, and they talk about the number of emails they send to the members and the open rate. And it's about 28% of the members open an email. Now, because this is on the sign on, and you see this when you first sign on, there's probably a higher open rate on this because people see it. Whether they actually read it or not, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's real. And all types of cybercrime are increasing across the board. It is becoming a major problem. Yesterday, we had to wire money to a title company. And when we got the read receipt from the title company, Jimmy, it also said somebody in Iceland read it as well. And that went to the title company. So, you know, I don't know. That's something new. And I'm going to talk to Jack about that because, and then we notified our bank because there was money being wired, and we notified the title company, and nobody, I mean, they don't know. They're not IT people. So then we had our IT company call both the bank and the title company because this isn't normal. And it's just not normal to see somebody in Iceland getting a read receipt on a realtor sending a title company information.
Well, and it's probably some VPN, so it shows you Iceland, but it's not in Iceland. It's probably in Russia. And the scary part is they have bots now that could do this for them. It's not even people doing it. It's the computer doing it for them. They don't have to do any work at all. They set up the program, they run the algorithm, and the next thing you know, they have all this stuff.
Yeah, and this is not just about money. This is about our safety. Mm-hmm. And that's why the board, I believe, is showing that, you know, they're saying they have a family member. This is an old scam, by the way. But now it's becoming easier, and they were targeting us. But this was an old scam years ago when people would make a phone call and say, hey, you know, I've got your granddaughter, and I need you to send me, you know, $75,000 or whatever it was. But that was a long time ago. But now this is a virtual scam, and it's easy to target us because our phone numbers and email addresses are everywhere. So good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Karen. We've got Advantage Realtors here. Good to see you all.
So you got a read receipt from Gmail.
No,
How'd you
no,
get the read receipt?
so we have, whenever we send something to a title company, we want to make sure that they read it. So we are on our own VPN. We're on our own private server. So this had to be open to the title company, is what the IT fella thought. This isn't us, because we're secure.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we're not now. Maybe there's a loophole. I don't know. But the title company when we got the read receipt back from the title company that the title officer read it, it also said that this Mondrovia, whatever her name was, in Iceland read it.
So none of your emails go out without that read receipt flag on there.
Correct.
From your office.
Correct.
If it comes from your office, it's got a read receipt, and don't they have to opt into that read receipt, or they don't get to open the email?
No, I don't think they have to.
Okay.
I think they used to have to, but I don't
Okay.
think they have to anymore.
Okay.
But that's a good question.
Jack comes back on the 6th. He's out of town. He's in Miami right now.
Oh,
Comes
cool.
back on the 6th.
We'll ask him. We'll say, okay, get on this,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
We want to know, because he'll find out. So, okay, so that's that. Let's look at the stats. All righty, let's see what I want to do here. I learned something. Let's see how well I learned it. I can put you over here, maybe. Come on. No, there you go. Whoops, I lost you. Hide this. Hide that. Show you.
You don't need to show me. This is more important. The stats up there are way more important.
Okay, let me hide you for a second. Okay, so we're down to 22 days of inventory. That's the news of the day. And I think it's probably normal for this time of year, but we'll see in a week or so. Hopefully the listings come surging back. We only listed 57 homes yesterday, but we put 73 under contract and closed 74. So those numbers tell you that we're not listing as many as we're closing. So that's going to decrease the inventory. And we upped our 125 sales per day to 126. And it'll probably compete with last year at 127 by the end of the month. We'll see. It all depends on how the weekends fall. And of course, our title companies are going to be closed on Friday. I believe they were closed on New Year's Eve. So I would imagine, I haven't heard yet. I don't know, Jimmy, maybe you know, if the title companies are going to be closed on Friday. I would hope not, being the last day of the year, but we shall see. We shall see. The non-owner occupied, the investors are still buying 45 homes a day, and we're selling 126 homes a day. And of those 126 homes, Jimmy, we're selling $4.4 million homes. So those are the stats for the day. And I want to show everybody something else. Let's see here. Last year, Jimmy, look at the volume. We did $26 billion in sales volume. That's an awesome number. But look at this. This year, we've done $39 billion. I mean, this is incredible, an incredible increase. Don't you think, Jimmy? Wow.
So we're up about 14%. So this volume, I need to get these numbers and print these out and see how much the volume is up, because even if there's pressure on commissions, it's still more number of closings and more dollar volume.
Yeah, 43 billion this year, 29 billion last year.
That's
crazy. That's crazy.
That's part of the high-end market. That's part of the high-end market, I think.
Well, what I did to that point, Jimmy, is I printed out the top 25 realtors from the volume standpoint. So you can see that, last year, Zillow, or let's see, Ivan Shear last year did 364 million. Gosh, these numbers, 364 million in volume. Ivan Shear did, that's high end. And then this year, Ivan did 631. So it almost doubled, Jimmy. Well, not quite. He did 631 million this year, and he did 364 million last year. And last year he was number one in volume. This year Zillow's number one in volume. And Ivan, let's see, where's Ivan this year? He's number 11. Wow. Amazing.
Well, here's the numbers. It's about 35% more overall in marketplace, and Ivan shares up about 65%.
Cool.
So again, the high end is pulling these numbers up.
Yeah, definitely. And to that point, I want to let everybody know that the other day I showed you how to do a landing page and boost it. Right. And I did a $400,000 one, and I did a $800,000 landing page for people to get listings of those price points. People in California, boosted them both out to California. In 2 days, I got 267 hits on the $400,000 one, but I got over 600 hits on the $800,000 one. So my message, because we're going into the listings today, maybe you all need to get a farm in the higher price ranges. 139 people move here every day. 43% of them are from California. And so if those people from California are looking for more expensive homes, that might be a place where you farm. And possibly there's going to be some good farms out there, because I think there was always a gap between that 500 up to 750. So maybe, between the 500,000 and the 750 or 800,000 price range of a farm is maybe where you should place your efforts this year, because it looks like, just from a brief, this was just a brief 2-day survey I did, but almost 3 times the number of viewers on the $800,000 price range homes than on the 400.
Right.
And I targeted it to California. So that says a lot. Okay, Jimmy, we're going to talk about listings today. I don't know. I'm a little bit crazy, but that helps.
I'm laughing at the little bit. You're a little bit crazy. Okay, all right.
So one other thing I put this in the show everybody. I put this in the this video of the differences between these two types of masks. Somebody messaged me because I had talked about it yesterday. That what the N95 meant, and then there's the KN95. So this video shows you the difference in the two. I think it was Miss Pearson that asked me what the difference was, so I went out and found the video to explain the difference. Anyway, it's really important. I think Rosie Harsh said that they bought 50 of them because Frank made a comment yesterday. Well, the problem is people don't wash their masks. So she bought 50 of them so that, they have one a week, one per week. But, the thing about these masks are you can take some hydrogen peroxide and just, spray it on the mask or whatever and kill any germs. So I just wanted to bring that up because it seems like I hear more and more right now about the pandemic. Do you hear more about it, Jimmy?
Yeah, the conversation, we thought it'd be over with by now, but it's even more accelerated because last year was the number 3 killer in America. They're saying that some of the deaths attributed to COVID might not really have been COVID. They might have been pneumonia or whatever, but it's number 3. You have cancer, you have heart disease first, then cancer, then COVID, number 3.
And it used to be diabetes used to be up there too, but and they're saying, this new variant might be milder, but people are getting it. So, the flu's the flu. I don't know. I would like to hear I would like to hear the number of flu cases we had, like with SARS and the other, things that plagued us over the years, just to do comparison. And my whole thing about saying that, Jimmy, is I sometimes think we're over publicizing it, but then I think, well, maybe people need to, if the numbers, I like numbers, me, but I'd like to see that there's a reason why we're doing all of this. and let the
Right.
public see. If I want to know, probably somebody else wants to know too. I always think that. Okay, so we're going to talk about
Well, if
listings.
those masks actually work, then that's worth it.
Yeah. Well, yes. And I did a little reading up, and they are very effective, and they have some doctors' opinions, and they say that the cloth mask protects them from you in case you cough or sneeze, but it doesn't protect you from them. So that's the difference. This N95 protects you from them. And I think that needs to be the concern. Okay, so let's get on to listings. Let's see. Okay, Jimmy. Okay, so we're going to deep dive a little bit into listings. And, the pace of multiple offers and above listing prices, has led most of the agents to just put a listing on the MLS and then spending zero money on marketing it. And I think that's going to create a bad habit. And it's only a matter of time, until that you're going to need to get back into marketing. And especially, Jimmy, see if my logic is good. Especially if we're telling more people to do more farming and to get more listings, that means there's going to be more competition. And perhaps, I know you say in our classes that 70% of people choose their first agent that they get. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that may change, though, if we start getting lackadaisical about our presentations. So that's why I want to talk about this, because you need to showcase your marketing power, and your listing presentation, should first and foremost showcase how you and your brokerage, will elevate the property's visibility and illustrate how you and your team or you will effectively market the home and give examples when possible. Like we take the laptop and we show them the virtual tour. Mm-hmm. Or the Matterport, and then the flyers that we do so that they can actually see it. And we started doing that when someone actually asked us for proof of what we do. And wow. I didn't bring it with me. And this particular listing, I think it was one of the first times I went on with John. These people weren't computer literate. I mean, I don't even know if they had the internet. So there was no way I could, get on there. I could have use my phone and whatever, but they seem to be a little bit impatient. So anyway, you have to do what you have to do. So anyway, so we're fortunate to have, TV. Aaron Tailor does TV ads. I see 3 or 4 more agents now advertising on TV. Mm-hmm. and then we can, if you're not doing TV, and they're asking about TV, I think you need to hone your skills on social media, because social media really is where you can target your money, and you can spend the same amount of money and reach more people that are buyers if you hone your social media skills. So I think that's very important. And then remember, presentation is everything. I mean, Jimmy, which one of our classes do you talk about presentation being? Neil Schwartz used to say that, right?
Yeah, it's all of them pretty much.
Yeah. And so
we talk about, it's not your content, it's your delivery. It's not your content. We all have the same content. It's your delivery.
Right. It's the delivery, exactly. And how you present the listing to the client is paramount, and tailor it to the client's personal preferences so that it resonates best with them. And we talk about how you identify people's personality types. And, you can use the simple method, which is DISC, and learn the different characteristics of those particular types. And it's really easy, but, you should invest a half an hour, right? It would only take a half hour to figure that out. And then what's the next
question? It takes only one question. Once you ask that question, then you know how to present what you're going to present doesn't change, but how you present it changes.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And, there's a lot of creative ideas when it comes to, bounding your presentation today. And you can do digital presentations, and they're becoming more popular. and they can have interactive features. Well, like I said, you show them the Matterport or the virtual tour where you can walk through the house. That's what they're talking about with the interactive features. And then you can present it in a way that's appropriate for them.
Well, not
And
just interactive with that, but the link. If you put a link on your email to them or your video to them, if you put a link on there, now they have to actually click on that link, and that's interactive too. They don't have to scroll around the Matterport, just making them click on a link. Gee, to see our marketing plan, click here. And the ones that click through to the marketing plan, those are the analytical people. They want to actually see it. And the other ones, if you want to say, click here to see a testimonial, then those are the social people that want to see somebody say, oh, Ruthie's awesome, man. Look what she did for me. She got us out of our house in 2 weeks or whatever. So if you have two different links, you can tell by which link they pick to look at, if they look at either of them, what their personality style is.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. That's a great tip, a very good tip. And I subscribe to Inman. Inman has so much information from agents all around the country. And there were some contributors on how to upgrade your listing presentations. If you go to Inman News and you search for marketing tips, then this is going to come up, and the listing launch plan that gets the higher prices, faster sales, more listings. You can even search for that specifically because that is the name of the article. And then there's 9 listing presentation mistakes you can't afford to make. And I don't think I think I didn't make slides of that because I don't think we'll have time. But it's really common sense. And then how to combat 5 common lies listing agents tell to win the listing. And this Inman really dug deep. And they actually interviewed some agents who said, I'm the #1 agent in your neighborhood. And they weren't. Mm-hmm. And so the person that lost the listing started doing some digging and found out that person wasn't telling the truth, but they got the listing. Mm-hmm. I mean, would you think a realtor would do that?
They do it all the time because it's how they define #1. My kid said I'm #1, so to say you're #1 doesn't mean anything. If you say you're the top listing, now it leads the public to believe you've listed more than anyone else. And this comes.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Jimmy. Can't hear you.
To avoid exaggeration, misrepresentation.
Your audio is breaking up. We're losing Jimmy. We lost him. I'm going to keep going, everybody. He'll come back. Okay. So showcase your expertise. So throughout the presentation, you need to showcase how you're the expert in the area and that you can best serve them. And highlight as many sales and accolades as possible to illustrate to the clients how you're the best broker for the listing. Now, if you're new and you haven't done this yet, you can say, here's what my company did. Okay, here's Jimmy coming back. Hold, please. There he is. Yes.
Now there's an echo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's an echo.
That's you. That's your microphone's on.
Okay, hold on.
Lost him again. Okay. So we spotlight our record-breaking sales through our listing presentation and emphasize our expertise. And this is a company in Los Angeles that said, especially the Platinum Triangle. So, they have an area like if you do Centennial Hills or you do Henderson or you do Green Valley Ranch, they say, and I know at first if you don't, you've got to figure out what to say if you are new and you haven't done a lot of listings. Let's come back again here. Hello.
Shouldn't echo now. Sorry.
Good. I was just saying about showcasing your expertise. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are just going to start farming. And so they need to perhaps talk about their brokerage expertise and, just don't direct the this showcase to you, do it to your brokerage and your fellow agents, and the way you market. So let's keep on moving here. Move over here. Here we go. Number 4, develop creative marketing ideas. So again, even though you might not have the listing, don't wait until the contract is signed to highlight your creativity. Develop dynamic and innovative ideas, for how you would market the property and include them in your presentation. And we would like to include images of the videos and of past events. Like if you probably need to do, if you're going to farm, you probably need to do some open houses in that area so that you can, show them videos, or just go around the neighborhood and do videos. Like if something's listed in that neighborhood, go and show, okay, this house is listed and here's some details about it. That's a short 30-40-second video that you can show them, some of the things that you do, and that you're technical and that you understand that video is what people like to see. So that's important about creative marketing ideas, is coming up with some creative video ideas. Any comments, Jimmy?
Well, I just, like you said, if you can do an open house in the farm, the area that you're going to work, I think that's the most evidence that you are the expert in that area, if you do it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do it consistently. I mean, you're not just going to wake up one morning and go out and be a listing agent. You're going to have to farm. You're going to have to send out some mailers. You might have to do some open houses, and you might have to do some videos of current listings that are there, just showcasing yourself on video and how you present a property that's listed. So number 5 says include examples of past marketing. And don't forget to include examples of pieces and mailers, that have performed well. And what I have to say about this is show them, your social media activity, because that's important. People, those people that we talk to out there, they say, what are you doing on social media? And so we say, we're not doing TikTok. We're not, we're going deep, not wide. We do LinkedIn, we do YouTube and Facebook. And that's what we do to help market the property.
Well, I think that a case study is appropriate at this point. If you have a case study of a listing that you did, that's one of the suggestions. That's other agents are not going to come in with a case study. And you see the question in the chat about, can you video someone's listing? And the answer is no, you can't video someone's listing without their permission. If they put a video up and you link to their listing using the IDX, it's going to just say, this listing courtesy of EXP, ABC, XYZ, whatever. It'll say the listing is courtesy of. So you have to give them attribution. You can't video somebody's listing unless they give you permission. Yes.
One of the things around that I've done is in my community, the people that own the pawn shop downtown, the famous one that were on TV. So their house went up for sale. And so it's on the route that I go in the morning. So I did a video of it, of the outside with the sign. And I don't need permission for that, because all I'm doing is sharing information. And and it says the sign of who's the listing agent. I'm just saying, look at this great neighborhood, and here's one of the beautiful homes for sale by, maybe it was David Ray, or I forget who it was. Let's say it was David Ray, and he's with Luxury Homes Realty. And if you're interested in this home, give me a call. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, you might get a buyer.
Isn't this weird? You have somebody from Russia on your show today.
Yeah, I saw that. That scares me a little bit. Hi there. Don't know if he understands English. Probably he does. Maybe I don't know. Highlight your accolades, things that you've done. I mean, when John started in real estate, he became the rookie of the month for listings because he went out and knocked doors, and he did what he was being taught to do. So, I tell the story. He knocked on one door, and the first door that opened, not the first door he knocked on, but the first door that opened, John said, are you interested in selling your house? And the lady said, yes. He goes, I'll be right back, because he had to go get Ronnie Voss, his broker, because he had never done it. He never even filled out a listing contract. So that was the beginning of his career. Anyway, so pick some, highlight your accolades. And, if your broker can give you an accolade, you can do a video with your broker. You can do a picture with your broker, or fellow agents. It doesn't always have to be clients.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then remember, please, when you do a listing and it does sell, or you do a buyer and it does close, get videos of it. This is what people are going to want to see. When this becomes the norm, you'll be sorry that you didn't do it, because these things quickly become the norm, because real estate agents are getting very, I don't want to say tech savvy, but they're getting very marketing savvy, and they understand, like the reviews and the testimonials, how important those are. So don't forget to start highlighting everything you do so that you can use it in your presentations. And then let's see, we need to move on here to the next one. And this is give your expertise. So now people are going to say, in a normal market, I don't know about right now, because like you said yesterday, just list the house. But you need to show people that you do know the statistics. You can say, here's what's going on. Here's the houses that sold for $800,000 that have a pool, and if they didn't have a pool, they sold for $780 or whatever. You have to show some value that you have about the market, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, expertise gives you what they call standing in the eyes of the client or the potential client. So one of the ways you show expertise is having those statistics. Numbers communicate.
God bless you. Sorry. Ooh, God bless you. Thanks. And then your brokerage information. You want to talk about your brokerage, and information on how many agents you have in your brokerage that you can share their listing with, things like that. And then upgrade materials. If you're trying to land a higher price listing, consider shelling out a little more cash on the presentation materials. And I know Tom Ferry said that one of their clients laminates their presentation and leaves it with them.
Nice.
And then there's some other people that Tom coached that do. What do they do? Oh, they just do, I like this one. They just do pictures, and they show people what they do as opposed to verbiage. Right. They might give it a title, but they don't go into a lot of verbiage. They just say, here we sold this house down the street. They might have a picture of that house. Right. And, they might have it sold in 6 days. We sold it in the fastest time and for the highest price. Right. And found the seller. They're the house they were going to buy when this one closed. So just little, you call them sound bites, right? Right. Yeah. So, and then be yourself. That's one thing I noticed about John. He's just himself. He wakes up in the morning and it's like, it's showbiz time, because this is what we do. We're working, and we have to show just who we are, because if we don't, they're going to figure it out sooner or later. So you might as well be yourself. And then you want to, again, they bring up this in this suggestion that, you give your sellers a detailed analysis of what's going out in the market and how you can be best position them for the outcome they're looking for. And you want to make yourself stand out. That's really, really important. And then you need to show people that social media. I mean, Facebook offers so many options now for you to put listings out there. And if you have a farm, get a business page with a name. Like John has Red Rock Community, I believe, or Red Rock Country Club. I forget what the name of his business page is. But John has a business page Red Rock Community or Red Rock Country Club. I forget which one it is, but he posts on it every day. And then before he goes on a listing, he does some special postings so that he can show, the seller some of the things that are going on in the neighborhood without him. Because people, when they see it, they believe it more than when you say it, right, Jimmy?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and you can create a social graphic post and share them out with people. There's just so much you can do with social media if you really take a deep dive into it, and just go into one. Go deep on one before you go into you have to have a LinkedIn profile. That's number one, and then you have to have a Facebook business page and or a professional page, which we'll get into in 2022 as soon as I learn all about it. And cool. Then again, Instagram, I do post on Instagram, my shows and things like that, but I am not an Instagrammer. In order to be an Instagrammer, you need to learn how to direct message and learn how to send information out to people. And if you're going to do listing presentations on Instagram, that's a good thing, because there's a lot of millennials on there and a lot of soccer moms, they say. So the demographic is changing on Instagram. And a lot of people, are segueing over to TikTok. That's LinkedIn. We said that. TikTok. There's TikTok. TikTok is gotten very, very popular. When it first was launched, it was around, I forget what year, 3 years ago maybe. But anyway, I did some videos around the neighborhood, and it happened to be Halloween, and it was amazing the views I got. But I don't have time to do all the platforms, so I just stick to the few. So I don't even teach TikTok, but TikTok's very, if you know Instagram, TikTok's very easy. And I understand that the ads on TikTok really perform well for real estate. So you might want to look into that.
Okay, let me weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Okay, if I get 100 views on TikTok and nobody does any reaching out to do business with me, I got 100 views and I feel real good about that. And I get a hit of oxytocin, I get a hit of dopamine, I get a drug high from it, but it doesn't actually result in any business. TikTok platform is for fun. Yeah. People going in to see people doing crazy dances and this crazy neighborhood with all these Halloween, but they're not going to call you up from that and say, come list my house. Right. I would rather have 3 hits on Facebook, something that I've targeted, or on LinkedIn, because the LinkedIn, that's professional. I would do 1% of the number of audience on LinkedIn versus TikTok. If you want to do TikTok, I understand you're just doing it for the fun of it. You're not doing it to get business. That's not what it's for. That's not why people go to TikTok. They go there for fun.
They do. You mentioned LinkedIn, and here's an idea that I want to share with everybody. You've seen me show you how you search for California realtors in the upper left-hand corner in that search bar. So what I would suggest that you do is you find, here's a little tip. So once you find them, go and see their page and see, where they rank or what they're doing. And if their description, their profile description doesn't tell you what they're doing, they might not be the one that you want to send your listing to. So when you find someone though that is doing business, maybe they just won an award or something like that, and you want to start sending your listing with a link in the message to them so that they know that there's an $800,000 home available in the lakes in Las Vegas, and if you have you'll know what to say based on the listing. And if you just start doing that religiously, if you're going to do listings, and then when you go in that listing presentation, you can say, look at all these realtors in California that I have notified about my listings. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it doesn't it would be different. And it can be your office listings. It doesn't have to necessarily be yours. You can be the buyer agent, right, of a listing. So, you're just telling Californians what's going on here. And for me, if I were a listing agent in this market, I would be doing things like that, because I would also show them the slide that we have And I probably still have it on Be Live. This one. I mean, people are moving here every day. And Applied Analysis is probably going to come out with a revised version of this sometime this first quarter of 2022. And I'll bet it's increased. We have one rental. We don't have enough inventory of rentals.
Well, I looked yesterday because of the Tom Ferry comment about there's less listings in the United States than there are real estate agents. We had 7,000 listings according to MLS yesterday, and that was everything: rentals, land, everything. So houses, there's not even close to that, and there's 16,000 realtors. So there's not even one listing per realtor. So you got to be good at what you're doing. And these numbers, I want to really hit what you said: plan, farm, database. Those three strategies: plan, farm, database. And when you do the plan, you have to execute on the plan. But if you don't have the plan down in writing, what you can look at and you can review with your accountability partner, whether it's Ruthie or somebody in your office or whatever. You don't have to pay somebody, but somebody's got to help you look at your plan. A plan is no good if it's sitting in a drawer.
No,
plan was first. Plan was first. Then farm.
Yes, and then farm. Yes, absolutely.
Then database. That's brilliant. It's simple. It's true. It's effective. And when you get database, all these strategies are giving us how to effectively use my database. But I got to have the database. I got to put it in groups. I mean, you've given them the roadmap, so they just got to do the work now.
I was on Buffini this morning. He has really stepped up the game with his website. You know, we talk about Tom Ferry and Buffini, and we compare them. Tom Feeney's, Tom, yeah, right. So Brian Buffini's website, I'm so excited about it because he's organized it. Before, it used to be difficult to find things, I have to tell you. Now everything is in such a great order. So if you want to find out about business plans, you go into the resources, and then he's got his podcast about business plans. He's got his presentations, his budget. I mean, everyth's now coming together, so it's easy to find. And that's really important when it comes, because people get frustrated. I know, in our office, we use the referral maker to send our owners and our tenants monthly, and our agents monthly items of value and emails. And it was quite a challenge learning it. It's not easy, but once you learn it, and the second challenge was finding the marketing resources, but now they're very easy to find. So they have a new one coming up about, tax planning for February, for instance. And you can go back now and look at last year's, what they said. So you might want to combine the two if you've got that time and you're that creative, or just send what he's got for 2022. But anyway, it's easy now. And one of the things that made me think about that, Jimmy, is Brian has a lot of information about building a database, and I'm probably going to compile that for us and either put it on the group, and maybe we'll talk about it on one of our shows, because people think I just moved here, I don't have anybody. Right. I hate to hear that. I hate it or I love it. I want it because then I can share how they can go build their database in a heartbeat.
Did you post the article from Bottom Line Magazine about the problem with the other areas?
No, it's still sitting here.
Okay. The reason I bring it up is because I mentioned to a broker friend of mine last night. I said, there's this area in Florida where they maybe will have sinkholes in 10 years. And he knew right away, what's it called? Lifestyles? Or I forget what you called
villages.
The villages. He knew immediately that, it's the villages. And he said, they got problems coming down. So this guy lives in Las Vegas. He's a real estate broker, so he's dialed into the stuff, but he knew right away. So that I'm looking for that article. That should be really interesting.
I'm going to get it for everybody. And of course, you always have to think forward. And if I was a 50-year-old agent or something, I would be thinking about starting to possibly target Florida. You can spend $1 a day on Facebook and target something. And because over time, they already are having problems with sinkholes. And it says here, and also they have extreme heat warnings now in the village area. And it gets to the point where it's extreme danger in levels over 100 because of the humidity that goes along with the heat there. So lots of ideas. You know, if you have a plan to be in this business for the next 10 years, you could make this part of your plan now and spend $1 a day or $1 a week or whatever it is, just getting yourself out in front of people in the villages in Florida, you know, that, you know, Vegas has all these things. Do the pros and cons.
Well, you know what else is, when there's a big snowstorm back east, and there's going to be some, whether it's Washington or Chicago or New York, when there's a big snowstorm back there, man, if you were poised to launch the day that happens, they're stuck at home. They can't even go anywhere sometimes. They're just snowed in. And if you say, here's Las Vegas today, and you show the weather in Las Vegas, here's what you could buy in Las Vegas for this amount of money. Chicago real estate's really expensive.
Yes.
I mean, really expensive. Washington, D.C., one of the most expensive markets in the country. New York, uber expensive. If you said, here's Las Vegas today, what's the weather like in your town? Why don't you come to Las Vegas? Shoot.
Well, and I think that was even on the news this morning. You know, when I'm doing my thing, I can hear the news in the background. John's usually watching the news while I'm doing my show materials. But anyway, it was talking about more people were moving west. Just what we need. More people. And they're coming from the east. So, yeah, you're right on, Jimmy. Right on. That's what's happening.
Okay.
So, lots of material. Good stuff. I'm going to post these slides in the group. I did the video in the group. I did the mask in the group. So anyway.
Those number slides are interesting to me that you pulled. The number slides, the volume, those are interesting.
Yes, I'll post those too.
Thank you.
I'll do it
Appreciate it.
right now. I got 10 minutes.
Okay. All right.
All right,
see you
Jimmy.
later.
Will I see you tomorrow?
No, I have an appointment tomorrow.
Okay.
So I can't be
here. We'll miss you. We'll miss you.
Okay, thanks. Happy
Bye,
New
everybody.
Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
See you next year. I'll see you next year.
Okay. Thank you, Charlotte. Appreciate that. They should have a 15 seconds of frame around themselves. Yep. A fame. Yes, exactly. Lots of good comments today. Thank you so much. Jim and I were going back and forth. So, you know, I produce this myself, so I don't always have time to show everybody's comments. I apologize for that because I love them. Let's see here. Yes, you can. Yeah. Video down the sidewalk. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can. Yep. Well, I think what Jimmy was saying is you can't go inside and video it without permission, but I'm talking about just showing the neighborhood. If you're going to do a farm and put that in your listing presentation. Absolutely. Can you video? Let's see. I'm going to change real quick here. The theme to this one. Apply it. There we go. So can you video someone's listing? No, not inside. That's what Jimmy was saying. But I mean, I'm all about walking down the street and showing the different, just do short videos of the homes that are available. And Frank, didn't get to feature Frank today. Hi, Frank. They need not to be, they should be, yes, absolutely. Yep. That's what we do. And I'm waiting for my N95s. And then I have a spray bottle of hydrogen peroxide ready to use. All right, everybody. I really appreciate, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. It's going to be a great year. And here, so will you go to Disneyland for me today? I've never been to Disneyland. I'm a Disney World girl. I'm on the East Coast. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for joining me and your comments today. I really appreciate the comments. And